Folks, this is probably the toughest video I've ever done, and I'm very exhausted. Everyone, after last night's debacle of the New York Knicks losing to the Indiana Pacers in Game 6, I knew that the Pacers were going to win at home. I thought we are gonna get them done Game 7, but then again, bad calls from officials, terrible rotations. You can't make this shit up. I can't even defend. This is the worst season. I can't defend this shit anymore. Fans, I agree, and I agree with this. And this is one. You can't say that this is a good season. This is a good season. We went to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2025 years. But there's two problems that still linger. There's bench productions that wasn't helping. Indiana's bench was like tearing us up. The starters were up. Tyrese Halliburton was killing us. You know what I say? You know what it is? You know what also is the worst? He held Tom Thibodeau holding this franchise back. And the fans who are defending this stale cheese is totally insane, totally inept. And I said they're gonna say, yeah, they're gonna have to the fans say, yeah, dump him. This is probably the best coach we had since Jeff Van Gundy, but he held this team back with 9 play, not utilizing his bench, not utilizing assists, not utilizing being more offensive. And this is pretty much the fault. I can't blame the front office on this. As far as I can tell, this is why we have the most toxic fan base in the world. And to be able to defend this shit, I can say this, that we need better bench guys that can play, that can better and score, and a fresh new coach that can get this old team over the hump and probably solve this Tyrese Halliburton puzzle once and for all. We lost to him twice. Last season, we lost to him in the Eastern Conference Semis. This thing's the worst. I'm betting Jim Dolan is probably pissed right now. This is probably the furthest he could take us. It's a great accomplishment, but no. That's a great accomplishment. The greatest accomplishment is putting up an NBA championship banner inside Madison Square Garden. Not this. Not celebrate a playoff exit. I said publicly, he is outcoached by Rick Carlisle twice in the playoffs. He has gotten this. You could say Tibbs has gotten New York closer and closer every season. Well, minus the 2021-22 season, they were 11th in the East, and they missed the playoffs. He got knocked out in the first round in his first season. And Knicks fans can sell, and the idiots are celebrating. And idiots continue to celebrate this insanity. To celebrate the insanity. Say, yeah, this is the best season we've had. No, yeah, it is. Until you realize y'all suck. This team suck. This team can't get it done. Let's face it. When you are third in the East, you are expected to make it to the NBA Finals. You knocked out the defending champions, and then you get beat by the Indiana Pacers. Like I'm happy. Fuck no. And we don't want a coach that's able to get New York to the Eastern Conference Finals for 25 years gone. No, we want now. We do. He's past his expiration date. How can we defend a guy who's got outcoached by Rick Carlisle twice and can't solve the Halliburton puzzle? You can't. He's got to go and go now. This is terrible. You can't say you can say you haven't forgotten what he's done. 5 years, 4 playoff exits. This sucks. Because if you're going to talk about, because if this is about building a winning culture, you talk about, oh, they're building a winning culture. They progressively made it further and further every year, building a winning culture. And if we should be, but not when you lose to Indiana twice. "52 years. Knicks fans are very tired. You want a coach? Who do you want to replace him? I was asking who you want to replace him with. I said, I want a coach who can actually get better offensive from not only the starters, but the bench as well. Someone who can use better rotations. This man is past his expiration date. Jimmy Dolan is going to get him. Jimmy Dolan is probably saying to Leon Rose, look, I know he's your guy. You got to get rid of him. I don't care if you lived during the Patino years or the Hubie Brown years. I was born when Bob Hill was coaching this team. I was around when Rick Pitino took the team to the playoffs and they got beat around the bush every year. Pat Riley, when I was there, when Pat Riley took this team to the finals in '94 and they got beaten up in 7 games. You can't defend this shit. They're not going. And this is nowhere with this aging, rotten milk, coaching this team and making fans impatient for a ring. This is why Jim Dolan is grinding his axe now. He's going to join the list of people he's going to fire. They need a better coach, not a stubborn old mule that's not going to take this team to a title. You only say, yeah, we don't have a name. Look at it, and people will laugh when I say, look at Mike Malone, look at Mike Brown. They could give the Knicks some spark. Not Tom Thibodeau. Or get a fresh coach in a fantasy curve when the Warriors kicked Mark Jackson from the curve. The same Mark Jackson who took the Warriors to the playoffs. He took them day 2, by the way. And couldn't get it done. He's stubborn and stale. He needs to go. He needs to retire. Let him go fishing with Derrick Rose for the rest of his life. I've had enough of him and the choking. He's got out-coached in more ways than one. You say there are worse coaches than Tom Thibodeau in this league. There are better coaches than Thibs in this league too. Mark Daniel. And even Steve Kerr, who's won more rings. Kenny Atkinson took the Cavs to a top seed in the East, but lost to Indiana. Knicks fans could say, yeah, he's still better, but everyone should say, yeah, we get it. The guy's aging. He's like old rotten milk. He's done. I want him done. I want him gone, because this guy is aging like milk. He took out the starters, emptying the Knicks bench with a minute 50 left, down by 20. He's done. Time to put fries in a bag. Knicks fans say, yeah, we need a better coach now. Tom Thibodeau is not the guy anymore. You can't defend this anymore. Knicks fans can say, yeah, it's time for a change. We can't put up with this guy anymore. He put up a puke fest. This season. Good regular seasons, with the exception of a second season. But puke fest in the playoffs. Not the record I want as a coach. It's time to say, yeah, Knicks fans, you better enjoy the summer. You better enjoy the summer because Tom Thibodeau is gonna be puking, and I'll be thinking, yeah, I'm pretty much done. It's over with. End this charade of rotten of and the off season. And while the off season begins, as the off season begins, time will tell if the Knicks want to keep this guy around. Because if he's still around, he probably might push him more further. But with this, you can't defend this shit. You can't expect to keep a guy who's been outcoached, outsmarted, and being beaten around the bush so many times. When are you gonna say enough's enough? Look at the Warriors when they fired Mark Jackson. They brought in Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr took him to the title. Took him to a title. The Bucks had bad seasons, but when they brought in Mike Budenholzer, he took them to a championship with Giannis and Middleton and Drew Holiday. Even Mike Malone won a ring with Nikola Jokic. Knicks fans, this is why Knicks fans are the worst. Some Knicks fans are the worst. You can't defend this shit anymore. Tom Thibodeau needs to go, and he needs to go now. He's way over he's past his expiration date. And if you kept him around, he's gonna smell like old cheese inside Madison Square Garden. And this is not helping if the Knicks want to be winning again. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks a lot. Watch more right here.